Hello, Marnie.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Excellent.
Yourself?
I'm doing okay. It's Thursday and kind of winding into, our week, kind of trying to get into a groove of what this new kind of way of connecting and communicating and learning looks like. And, I'm hoping that things are going to start to kind of create a new routine soon for me, but not quite there yet, but just working on it.
You're still sitting on the couch.
I'm still on the couch, and you
I
found
knew.
like I never know. Again, like I'm always so excited to click on the link and find out where you're going to be, because you're always somewhere unexpected, and I like that. That kind of just makes it exciting.
So where am I? Can you figure that out?
Well, I feel like you're on the beach for sure, because I can see the beach and the water, and I see a large pineapple, and it's got a face on it. So I don't know if that's sort of your pineapple companion on the beach.
My friend on the beach.
You're kind of alone on the beach with your pineapple.
Yep, that's very good. That's very good. I
Excellent.
thought maybe we would think a little bit about what that image kind of means, because I bet you lots of people are sort of feeling like they're alone on the beach and are talking to the walls.
Yeah, very true. Sort of that isolation within self-isolation, right? Like with isolation, I guess, with your family maybe, but some people might be completely alone as they're isolating and physically distancing themselves from other people.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So we've had a couple of requests actually from people to maybe talk a little bit about loneliness, particularly sort of especially with kids. They're such social beings. Oh, we got a guest today.
Jeff, welcome.
Well, isn't it nice to see everyone today?
It is.
Like
That's
Zoom
awesome.
bombed us.
Thanks for having me on your show.
You're on our show.
Yeah.
It's pretty high.
Yeah. Well, and just to be clear, it looks like you have the Wilson pineapple.
There you go. You go. Brilliant.
That's right. So, and which is more appropriate because he was isolated for what? 3-4 years in that movie.
Oh no, now I'm getting depressed.
Yeah, I know.
The Castaway movie? Is this what we're
Yes.
referencing here?
Yes.
I'm getting it now.
So what's our topic today then, Jeff?
Our topic today is loneliness.
There you go.
And let me tell you, loneliness, a lot of people are feeling it right now. A lot of people are struggling with loneliness. And even if they have, family members around, it becomes difficult because you're not in your regular social structure. And especially for our kids, especially for our teenagers, the lack of connection to their regular social structure is causing them to feel fairly lonely.
So
even though we've got the technology to connect, we're not really together, right? So it changes the context of our connection for sure.
I think you're absolutely right.
Even though we're connecting.
Yeah. We are connecting. And I appreciate the fact that I'm able to talk to you guys today, because even my basement's getting a little quiet. But, it's important to join a community, right? Either online or in person. But, at the end of the day, we humans, we're really herd animals. We're not hermits. So our brains are wired for social interactions, and that, we're wired for social interactions in person. So this is difficult. We can come together and we can talk about common goals, and we can talk about things like on Zoom or on YouTube. But, in all those human interactions, they're lacking right now. And I think people are struggling with it.
yeah, it's not so much by just not having people around, right? Because I think lots of us have people around, but we're missing some of that attachment, some of that connection piece, that sense of belonging that you don't get by just having people around, right?
I think it's like that physical closeness, right? Having proximity to people. And like you said, you can have your family. I love my family very much, but those are the faces that I'm only seeing on a day-to-day basis. And that can be very isolating. I think it becomes isolating when your routine has been completely interrupted, and now you're not going where you usually go. You're not doing what you usually do. you're not seeing the multitude of faces that you would see on a day-to-day basis, whether it's people within your place of work or even on the street. We're just not going anywhere. We're not.
So
Wow, this
what
is
can we
very
do?
true.
What can we do about it then, do you think?
You know, that's a really interesting thing because, you know, the cause of the feeling of loneliness, I mean, usually it comes down to about three things, right? One, you've either lost something, you've lost someone, or you have a feeling of being excluded from others. The
Yep.
third, you know, and this is the really important part about loneliness, is that it doesn't necessarily mean being alone. I think a lot of people associate being with being alone, and you can be lonely in a crowd of people.
Yep.
Very true. Very true.
You can see people all on their phones, and you're just not connecting with anybody. You're not feeling excluded from the larger group. And
Right.
those are the things that cause our loneliness. So
I
what?
agree.
How do you think we make meaningful connections then in this new reality?
Well, I think we're going to have to spend a lot more time doing like this, where we're doing the video chatting, we're actually talking on the phone. We're not just texting, we're not just Snapchatting, we're not just on a chat room somewhere. It's really, I think, important to still see faces. So it's the next best thing that we can do to being really connected with someone personally, right? When we're talking about social isolation, we're not seeing people face to face, but at least we can do it virtually and we can see the responses on people
And hear them, right? Because
and
that's
hear them.
as well,
Yes.
being able to hear somebody.
Yes. And so I think if we step away from the texting and the Snapchatting and actually make some more human connections, I think we're going to be much better off.
You know, I think that's a good idea. And even with the people around in the house, same house here, house you making the opportunity to actually sit down and make connections, right? Have a conversation, sit and watch the same movie together. Those kind of things I think are important in just existing together, right?
Well, because that's a good point. Because actually, when you think about even being in your family, you can be together. But if everybody is connecting with other people on their own devices, soon you're actually not even physically connecting even with the people within your own home. So I like the idea of like, maybe it's making sure that you're cognizant of gathering, whether you're, you know, playing a game of cards maybe, or doing a puzzle, or even physically sitting in the same room if you're reading or whatever, having conversation. But because sometimes I think we get lost in our technology. That's my struggle, is finding that I'm not a huge tech person. So this is a new type of connection for me that I'm not necessarily accustomed to yet. So there's lots of struggles I think that we are going to face with figuring out how to make meaningful connections in a way that we all feel comfortable with.
This is a very difficult time for people who are, you know, they don't have technology, or that they're not comfortable with technology and they can't do things like this. They can't have meaningful conversations back and forth. But most people do have a phone. So
Yeah.
I really want to stress that reaching out to others is the key. Don't wait for those calls to come in. Go make them. And see, you know, just call people and have a conversation. I think
So
that
going old school is good.
I think in this case, using technology to go old school is a good thing. Absolutely.
Maybe
So-
we should all start writing letters to each other though, too.
Oh man, there you go.
That might be
Oh,
neat.
boy.
I don't know what that looks like, but
I'd have to go buy a stamp though.
Yeah.
that's true. So maybe that's not a good idea.
Okay, I think guys, this is a really important topic. And I think maybe we should come back and talk about it some more on another day. What do you think?
I'd love to have Jeff back again.
I would love to be on your little channel again. I think it's great just to talk to you guys.
Yes.
Just seeing your faces kind of makes me a little less lonely in my neck
I
of
feel less lonely right now too.
Awesome.
I'm glad.
Okay, see you guys.
Okay, everybody.
See
See
ya.
you
Take
again.
care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.